Hi everyone. So I have created one Java application with the help of Spring JDBC. So basically, I have created one particular application in which I will be implementing a CRUD. I'll be performing a CRUD create, read, update, and delete. And for that, I have used the concept of Spring JDBC. In this particular video, I'll be explaining the flow of how the flow will be there of performing the particular CRUD application. So these things can also be get performed with the JDBC. So JDBC, let me to start with the introduction. So basically, JDBC is an API which we use to perform operation with the database, and we will be using Spring JDBC in place of JDBC to solve some of the problems because it is much better than JDBC when it comes to perform the CRUD application. When it comes to create a CRUD application. And the reason behind there is because in JDBC we have to write a lot of code. Just like for we need to create a connection, we need to open a connection, we need to write a statement, we need to execute a query, and we have to close a connection. And these all things we need to keep on doing from one place to another for inserting the data. And we also need to keep in mind the problem of exception handling. We need to we need to see this problem, but in Spring JDBC we do not have any such type of problem. In Spring JDBC we have one JDBC template. It's called JDBC template only, and by using it the application process will become much stronger, and the functionality will provide it will be very much easy when it comes to the comparison with the JDBC. For example, like performing CRUD will become very simple. It's become very simple. So let me to start with the packages that I have created. So my project name is Spring JDBC1, in which I have created one package with the name com.spring.jdbc and com.spring.jdbc.dow and the com.spring.jdbc.entities. And in the entities we have created the Pojo class student with the name. So basically we'll be performing all our operation with student only. So I have provided the ID, name, and city of the particular student, and we'll be doing all the changes in particular student class only. And I have created one database in MySQL with the name Spring JDBC, and in that particular Spring JDBC there is a table with the name student is been there, in which I will be performing CRUD. So already I have inserted the 4 element and I have done many changes. So I will be doing in front of you also, so you can have a much better understanding. So for this particular project, we need to keep in mind that what are the dependencies that is being required for this project. So the two things is that we need to keep in mind is that we must have Spring Core and Spring Context dependencies. And other than that, we are performing the changes in the backend part. So we must have MySQL connector Java, and also we must be having Spring JDBC dependency so that we can able to use Spring JDBC template for performing our CRUD application, for creating our CRUD application. So this is the main class where our application will get run. So I have created one the main class with the name app.java, and that I have just created the application context, and in that particular I have provided the path that just please scan the config.xml, and in that config.xml what I have just put is I have this bean. So this is very important. This is something which is very important that you need to keep in mind while performing CRUD application with the Spring JDBC. The first step is that you need to create a bean class with the driver manager data source, and in that particular bean class you have to provide 4 things: name, driver class name, URL, your username, and the password which you have put in MySQL database. For my case it is Ritesh@123. So these are the very first step that you need to do, and other than that you need to create one more bean with the JDBC template, and that particular reference part you have to provide this data source. You do not need to provide you do not need to provide everything. You need to provide its name. DS. So these are the second step. Sorry, so this is the second step that you need to do. And in the third one, I have this part I will explain later. That what I did, I have created one more class, bean class with the name student now, and in that bean class I have provided the reference, this reference JDBC template. So these are the three steps that you need to do always for creating the project. So let me to go to the main application. What I have did here, I will be doing the insert part. So let me do one comment first. Oh, just a minute. So already I have 4 element in my database, so I'm going to insert one more. So I will be changing it ID 125 I'm giving, and name I'm giving currently, who has been living in OTH Chennai, Officers Training Academy Chennai. And I will be inserting it particular data. So what I have done is here, so here only my particular step is being getting started. I have created one DAO class, and in that I have provided dot insert method. So let me to go into the DAO class. So when I go here, I find out that it's not class, it is an interface where I have provided the insert. So whatever the data has been which we have set, it will go in the form of object. It will be there in student, and it will go here. From here to here it will come. So it's an interface, and an interface we used to have method which are unimplemented. So we have created one more class so that to make it loosely coupled structure, and this class implemented this particular interface student DAO, and once it has implemented this particular interface, this particular class has the responsibility to provide all the functionalities of the student DAO interface. So he has did this. So all the data has been come here which we have set, and once this particular query will get run, all the data will automatically be get set. ID will, whatever the ID is there, it will come to the ID place, name and city place, and we'll be using the SpringJDBC template and to add this. And once we did it, we'll return it. It will come to the student DAO, and through student DAO it will back come to the this particular here in true result. And once it will get started, it will give one value to 1, because if it will not get inserted, it will give value 0, and if it gets inserted, it will get 1. So in the output also you will be getting 1. Let me do run this particular application. See, a student added 1. Let me do check my database also. So I have ID 125 with the name Karanvi, and he's been there as a young second flying cadet or gentleman cadet in OTH Chennai. Let me to comment it and explain the other functionalities also. So this is all about the insert, and now we'll be changing. We'll be doing the change. So I have set, and exactly the same format is being there. It will go from student DAO to student DAO impl, and here we have change part. So whatever the data will be there, it will come to the name, city and ID, and it will get changed. And something which you need to keep in mind is that how we are writing the syntax. This you need to remember, that you are using .jdbc template .update, and after that you will write this query which you have here mentioned, and the things which you need to get changed. You need to change your name, city and ID, so you will be doing that. And again you will return. This return will go back to the DAO, and through DAO it will come back to the main class app.java. So for of now I will be changing Viraj place to I will be changing his place to, let's suppose he is interested in going to Dubai. Let me to run this particular application. Data changed successfully. Let me to see whether currently Viraj is there in Chennai, and now he's been there in Dubai. Let me to comment it. And I can able to delete also. I can able to delete multiple, and I can also able to retrieve also. So for delete, you will be running the delete part. I will be providing this particular code into the description. You will be running the delete part. For the delete part, let me to explain the student example also. So for delete, nothing has been there. I have just run the query and I have just run the .jdbc template. That's all for the delete. It's very easy. For the retrieve part, you need to have row mapper. So this is something which is very important. For retrieving, you need to have row mapper. Basically, we use this so that we can able to get the result object into a student object, something like a student object. And for converting it, because this database, the element which you are having, it is a result object. Whatever is in there, it is in the form of result object. And for printing it on the screen, we need to have this particular in the form of student object. And for that, we need to use the concept of row mapper. So I will be running this last one, getting all student. So I will be running this last one, okay? So you can have much. So exactly the same thing is being there. Student DAO, get all student. It will come to the student DAO here. And this particular function is not being implemented, so student DAO have the implementation, and we'll be using string query, select a string from student. We'll be taking out all the student and .dgb query dot. And through this, something which you need to always remember in our mind is that how we are using the syntax means dot query function. After that, you need to provide this query again. Every time you need to provide this, and also we need to provide this row mapper. So basically, for taking all the result object into a student in the form of a class object, we need to get in, and after that we are just returning it. Let me to run this last one. So whatever data I have in my database, it came into the screen, as you can see. So I hope you have understand the particular flow of SpringJDBC, and I will be providing this particular code in the description. And if you have any doubt, you can just put in the comment. I will be replying all your doubts. Thank you.